I'm disappointed in you guys. With all of this hard work that we've been cooking up with on a Millionaire Morning Show for an extended period of time, y'all decided that y'all wanted to be distracted by things that wasn't going to be relevant to you in order to vote the people in the office that's not best for you. Did you know that Kentucky, as far as their governor, switched from red to blue? They went with a blue governor. Let me bring y'all up to speed on what happened on Tuesday night.
Overnight, Democrats celebrating a series of key victories, with abortion rights again proving to be a potent political issue heading into 2024.
Abortion access is the law of the land in Ohio.
In one of the country's most watched swing state races, Ohioans voting to guarantee abortion access, enshrining that right into the state's constitution. Ohio becoming the 7th state to vote to protect abortion rights since the Supreme Court's ruling last year overturning Roe v. Wade.
We own our own bodies.
In deep red Kentucky, abortion rights also at the heart of Democratic Governor Andy Beshear's re-election campaign.
This is our chance to build that Commonwealth we have always dreamed of, to stop the fighting, to push away the division.
Beshear defeating the state's Republican Attorney General Daniel Cameron, who was backed by former President Trump and opposed abortion rights.
This brick wall means we maintain our majority in the Senate.
And in Virginia, a tidal wave for Democrats who held on to their state Senate majority and took control of the House of Delegates, too. A dramatic rebuke of Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin, who was counting on a solidly red legislature to pass a ban on abortion after 15 weeks, with exceptions for rape and incest and saving the life of the mother.
So any sort of scale back of those rights, roll back of those rights that Governor Youngkin was offering, essentially, was repudiated tonight.
One election night win for Republicans in Mississippi.
Thank you, Mississippi.
Where incumbent Tate Reeves won a second term as governor, beating Democrat Brandon Presley, the cousin of a famous Mississippian, Elvis. And in Philadelphia, history was made, Democrat Sherelle Parker becoming the first female mayor in the city of brotherly love.
So all those national results allowing anxious Democrats and President Biden to breathe a sigh of relief this morning after a series of recent polls showed Biden trailing in a 2024 rematch with Mr. Trump.
Where do we start? So I guess we all moving to Mississippi. MISSISSIPPI. So we all going to Mississippi is the only people that know how to move appropriately. Let's see. Philly. Shout out to Philly. Kentucky. Ohio. All across in these local elections. A lot of y'all probably didn't even know that an election was going on in your city. But all across the world, all across the United States of America, we got a wave of blue. And every single person, the majority of the people that show up to the polls, they just so happen to be female. They just so happen to be female. Nobody had a conversation about budgets, infrastructure, policies, millages, taxes, education, public transportation, migrants, sanctuary cities, drug use, empowering police officers, culture. None of that stuff was meaningful. Only thing that was meaningful to the voters, which is easy to appeal to a specific demographic that is going to turn out, is a talking point in abortion. You know the interesting thing about abortion rights, and one of the reasons why I never speak on it, I'll tell you. Don't worry, you don't have to ask, I'll tell you. That was a rhetorical question. The reason why it's not meaningful to me is because I have a vasectomy and I'm not worried about the potential for somebody to get pregnant, you have hundreds of different ways to protect yourself and to prevent yourself. Obviously, we know that there's caveats that go along with it. We don't believe in rape. We don't believe in any of that other type of stuff or whatever. But you have so many different ways to prevent yourself from getting to that point in the first place, and other things that is going to affect you personally. And we're sitting here having a conversation about something that's not even relevant to you. If the majority of you are not even affected by it, why are you voting based off of something that does not affect you? Why don't we have conversations about something that's more meaningful, that's going to affect the culture? And more importantly, what is the core root cause and principle behind the fact that you are getting into these spaces in the first place? So they tap into your emotional side in order to try to convince you to make a decision based off of how you feel instead of something that's actually relevant. In the meantime, they're making decisions that have nothing to do with that. That is a small thing that they're spending their time on, and they spending an egregious, that's my word, an egregious amount of money to make sure that they market this to you to tap into your emotions so that you vote a way that's not going to be in your best interest long term, and then you're going to be complaining about who it is that you got. Let me ask you a question. What was the most meaningful thing that they ran on in Chicago in order to get Brandon Johnson elected? So easily distracted. Good grief. Amazing. I just cannot believe that y'all continue to go down this path of destruction, and then you wonder why we are in the state that we are in. You are getting what you voted for. God, amazing. Moving on, other quick hits. Elon Musk, Neuralink. So it's funny, right? Because the things that Elon Musk is most celebrated for, popular about, and the conversations that's being communicated to us in the media is all based around what's happening in Tesla and X, formerly known as Twitter, and even, the space company that he's running. But nobody is having a conversation about Neuralink. Well, guess what? Thousands of people are now lining up to have a portion of their skull removed so that Neuralink, which is the brain chip company, can be implanted now that they have the ability to be able to do human trials. Thousands of people have expressed interest in receiving one of Neuralink's brain implants. A recent Bloomberg report from one of Elon Musk's biographers, Ashley Vance, says. Vance, who said he visited Neuralink facilities 10 times in 3 years, said the company had yet to implant its device in a human, but aimed to operate on 11 people next year and more than 22,000 by 2030. Earlier this year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave Neuralink, which Musk co-founded in 2016, approval to launch human trials of its device that Musk has described as a Fitbit in your skull. Jesus Christ. The FDA had previously rejected Neuralink's bid for human testing in March over safety concerns, Reuters reported, including that wires connected to the brain chip could move within a subject's head or the chip could overheat. What is wrong with you people? You people are insane. I'm going to be reading those super chats shortly. What is wrong with people? Do y'all not watch TV? Do y'all know that y'all get one life and you don't get a redo? You don't get a do-over? People are literally like, the fact that this even got approval for people to be having brain implants is crazy. Human trials, FDA approval, and then people are actually lining up for this. And they're planning on doing 22,000 people before 2030. Insane. Continuing on, over to the money, something that's actually relevant, that won't disappoint me. Warner Brothers Discovery, which is a merged company with other entities that then allows for them to be able to act as a conglomerate, stocks plunge as weak ads from 2024 outlook is now emerging, right? Warner Brothers stock fell as much as 15% in early trading Wednesday after the company noted ongoing weakness in the ad market, saying it could impact visibility in 2024. CFO Gunner said, what a heck of a name, said the company's post-earnings conference call that 2024 will have its share of complexity, particularly as it relates to the possibility of continued ad struggles. Okay. He added that it's unlikely from today's perspective that we will hit our ad target leverage range by the end of 2024 without meaningful recovery of the TV ad market. Let me tell you something. A lot of these companies are going to fold. Some of the biggest companies are going to go away. They're going to fold. They are not going to be successful as of right now. Ad revenue is down for them, and they're competing for eyeballs with innovative companies, and TV revenue is going to continue to plunge also as people cut the cord and cable, and they have to make a decision of what it is that they want to subscribe to. So Warner Brothers Discovery's biggest play, in my opinion, and a lot of these companies that are trying to leverage ad revenue spend and things like that need to be leveraging their portfolio, in my opinion. The best companies are the ones that take the assets that they have and continue to make money from it as a result of it. The problem is that they started to push companies like Netflix because they were saying that they were going to develop their own ad revenue vehicles. The problem was that they pushed companies like Netflix to then innovate, and Apple, and so they started having their own programs because they didn't want to get left in the cold, and so now they can't make as much money off of licensing their deals and their movies and their content and stuff like that. And so I think that ad revenue is going to continue to plunge for a lot of these companies, including Warner Brothers. I personally would not invest in it. I am not investing in Warner Brothers Discovery, and I don't suggest that you guys do so either.